Hey everybody! Thanks for dropping by. My husband gave me some yarn for Valentine's Day, and one of the balls he gave me was this Caron cupcake. It's so cute and it's so different, it's unlike anything I've ever had before, that I thought today I would do a full review and project breakdown for you. This Caron cupcake is one of the latest in the cake style yarns that Caron has been releasing in the last couple years. This one is, I think, the smallest so far, and they couldn't have made it any cuter. The actual label has a scalloped top to it, which looks like a muffin paper. And since cupcakes are usually piled high with frosting and a little treat at the top, that's exactly how they've wound this skein of yarn. So the color, the self-striping color of yarn kind of piles up on top, and it's topped with a pom-pom, which is just such a cute gimmick for a ball of yarn. The idea is that you can make one hat using one skein, and you can top it with this cute little pom-pom. And the label actually comes with a pattern on how to make a little beanie. But since the spring's coming and I've kind of want to opt for something a little cuter, I'm going to make a beret using this little cupcake. But first I thought I would take you through some of the details of this particular sort of yarn. The Caron cupcake is 100% acrylic, unlike its forebearer, the Caron cake, which was 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So because it's 100% acrylic, it's machine washable in cool water, and you can also toss it in the dryer on low temperature. So that's a real plus for a lot of us who are in a rush and don't want to hand wash everything we make. The Caron cupcake is a lightweight yarn. So this is a size 3, unlike the Caron cake original, which was a medium worsted weight yarn or size 4. So this is a thinner yarn, and as such, it comes in a much smaller package. So this is 85 grams, but because it's thinner, it will still go a little longer than, say, the same amount in a medium or worsted weight yarn. So this is a thinner yarn, which is another reason I'm excited to work with it, because I don't often work with a lot of lightweight yarn. Now, depending on where you're from, the price is going to vary, but here in Canada, we can get these little Caron cupcakes on average for $6.99 Canadian. The whole gimmick behind Caron cakes is that they're self-striping yarn, so you get these long blocks of color before it changes into a different color. So all the different color combinations that these different cakes come in are really varied. This one in particular is called Mint Smoothie, and it's all shades of green, aqua, light blue, and a bit of white with little speckles of the different colors tossed in. It's really, really pretty. And in fact, these particular cupcakes come in, as of the making of this video, 12 different color combinations, and we'll put up some of the other pretty combinations that we like up here. And they all have really cute names, like Tutti Frutti and Candy Buttons and Mango Tango. They really give you the idea that they're a sweet little treat. So that's the basic information on a Caron cupcake. But because it comes with one of these cute little pom-poms, you'll notice that the whole ball of yarn is put together differently than your standard skein. So that must mean that it comes apart differently too. So I thought we should head over to the craft table and take a bite out of this cupcake together. All right. Upon first inspection, we've got a couple of strings that must be attaching our pom-pom to the center top of the cupcake. And when you sort of follow these along, you'll notice that they're actually attached to the inside of the label. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually take the label apart. And I'm just going to grab my scissors and snip through this little bit of tape. There we go. And that will free up the label so that I can see what's going on underneath. And it looks like it's taped. Okay. So if I just pull up on it here, don't want to wreck my label. So it looks like it's tied down. Yep, that's a knot. So if I have an inkling that if I untie this or snip it, then the pom-pom will come right out. So that looks like quite the knot. Oh, I think I might be able to undo it. Let's see what I can do here. Ha ha ha! All right. So the pom-pom already has string on it, so you want to make sure that you try to either untie it like I did or leave enough string that you'll be able to attach your pom-pom to the top of your hat or your little beret or whatever it is you make that you want to attach the pom-pom to, just so that you've got enough that you can tie a really nice tight knot with it and probably weave in these tails into the rest of your project, and that'll make sure that your pom-pom won't go anywhere. Now, as far as the rest of this cute little cupcake is concerned, there's probably an outside edge somewhere around here, and there's probably an inside edge tucked into, oh wait, what's this? That might be it. Or not, that could just be the bit coming out. I think I might have to do my little trick here where I wiggle around my fingers on the inside and see if I can't find the inside middle end. I like the end, the middle end, just because it helps unravel from the inside, and then the ball of yarn doesn't sort of run around while it's trying to unravel from the outside. But it's funny, I can't find the outside one either. Alright, so here is the outside end. It's just tucked under, I found the end, it was sort of hiding in here. The end of it is just tucked under the outside strands. So if you want to throw this in a yarn bowl, because it's a small enough skein, it'll probably stay confined to the inside of the yarn bowl. But if you're like me and you want to actually use the inside end, I'm just going to pull out the middle top. Oh, yep, see, it's hidden in here somewhere. And oh, there it is. Good. So that's not too much center. And I'll just unravel this so that I've got the inside end, and then I can start working from here, and it will just neatly unravel from the inside out, which means that for safety, just so I don't end up with any tangling, I'm going to tuck my inside end back underneath a few of those outside rounds, just to kind of keep it from getting tangled up with the inside. So that is how you take apart this cute little cupcake. I've been crocheting in the round for a little while, and I thought I would show you guys how the color changes look. Now obviously where your color changes and what the stripes or the sort of sections of color look like is going to differ depending on the pattern you use. If, for example, you were working back and forth, you would get sort of solid stripes. Same thing if you were working in a large ring around and around, your stripes would look differently. And because I'm working from a small point outward, I have like a lot of the same color and then a slightly narrower band of a different color. And if I got bigger and bigger and bigger, the stripes would get smaller and smaller and smaller. So how the color is laid out in your project is going to change based on the project you're making. But so far, I like this. I like the center of this circle. It started with sort of a dark aqua. It moved to a lighter aqua, which has got flecks of a light green in it, and then into the light green itself. I did notice though, the color changes are pretty abrupt. So if you were wondering about how the colors change into each other, there is no real middle change. It kind of abruptly changes, and just as the dark color went into the lighter color, there was sort of an extra shot of dark aqua. So it went from a darker aqua to a really dark shot of blue before it turned into the light aqua. And I thought maybe it was just that one little transition, but it did it again just as it was changing from the light aqua into the lighter green. So as you can see, it's a very abrupt transition from this light aqua into the lighter green. But just before it changed, there were sort of two little shots of darker green just before it turned into the lighter green. Now, if you pull back, it's not really that obvious to see sort of where the change occurs and that there's like a slightly darker splot in between the colors. And I really, that's not a game changer for me. I don't mind that because on the whole, I think it looks pretty. So I don't mind it. But if you were wondering, that I do find that a little strange, that little sort of extra kick out of darker color just before it goes from one to another. But that's what the color changing looks like. So here's the finished product. I made a cute little beret, and I think it actually looks a bit like a cupcake. I worked that cute little pom-pom into the top center of it, and I really like how it turned out. I like how all the different striping worked. So the top middle part obviously is going to be a little bit wider. I think there's probably the same amount of color in each stripe, but obviously depending on the project you make, it's going to change where your stripes land. And because I was working from the center out, the first little bit is sort of a bigger part of color, and then you have sort of some even looking stripes as you work through the increasing and then around the corner of the hat, and then as we start to decrease again. But I really like that. I like those colors. I like that combination of colors. I think it's really pretty. And I like that for my little beret. So I think this worked out to be quite a cute little project. And I didn't use the entire cupcake, so I do have some left over, which I will have to work into another little project down the road. And we'll see what that is. I don't know. But let me show you what it looks like on. Ta-da! I love it. It's a cute little beret just in time for the spring, and it's got a cute little pom-pom on the very center back of it. So if you want to see how I made this beret, make sure you tune in this Friday and I will have a cute beret tutorial for you guys. I'm going to show you how to make it using the ever-expanding circle technique. So I'm going to show you how to use stitch markers and basically make it as big or as small as you like so it can fit you or the kids. One cupcake per hat. And that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in, you guys, and we will see you soon here on the Jayda InStitches show. In fact, we'll see you Friday for a beret tutorial. Until then, stay safe, stay crafty, and have an awesome week. Bye, everybody.